In this video, I want to show you how to create your first Azure SQL database. So you can see here we're in the Azure portal, and I have Azure SQL up here since I've recently used it, but you may not. So if you go up to the search bar and type in Azure SQL, we'll just select that, and then we'll go up to the top left and hit Create. We just want to create a single database. So we're going to choose the subscription and resource group. And then we're going to need to give our database a name. So I'm going to call this ADS demo server 02. And I already have a server set up, but I'm going to go ahead and create a new one so you can see how that's done. So we're going to call this ADS demo server 02, and we're going to move it to central. Maybe not. And then we're going to use just SQL authentication. So ADS demo admin. I'll type in my password. I'm just going to save this so I don't forget it. Then we're going to go ahead and hit OK. And we're going to want to switch the workload environment to development. And then down here in compute and storage, we're going to go and configure the database. And so for just a demo database that's not going to be have a ton of workloads or have a lot going on in it, this general purpose tier is probably the best way to go. And we're going to do serverless. And then down here, you can change your vCores, which is basically, you can think of as compute power. So one's the minimum. I'm going to bump this up to 8. And you can see it gives us an estimate right here of how much it's going to cost each month. Okay, I'm going to hit apply. We're going to keep the locally redundant backup storage. If you have a lot of really important information on your database, you're going to want to probably either choose zone redundant backup storage or geo redundant backup storage. Basically, that just backs up your storage in different geographic area. So if you had like a catastrophic failure on your server, it'll be backed up somewhere else. We're going to skip everything else and go to review and create. This all looks good, and we're going to press create. So you can see it's up here, you're getting status updates about the deployment. Okay, so now that our database has been created, I'm going to go to the resource. And right up here will be our server name, so I'm going to copy it. And then I'm going to open up SQL Server. So here I have SQL Server Management Studio opened up, and I have our server name in here, and we are using SQL Server authentication. So I'm going to type in our password. Okay, and it looks like we got an error that's saying that our network isn't able to access the server. Okay, so now that we're back in the server settings in the Azure portal, I'm going to go down to security and click networking. And the public network access is currently disabled, which is why I'm not able to log into SQL Server. So what I need to do is select selected networks and then add my IP address. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll head back into SQL Server. We're going to try to connect again, and you'll see we're connected in. That's how you create an Azure SQL database.